Hi, I'm Chermean, the sensuous author, and tonight you have me with Conversation, Cocktails, and Cuisine with Chermean. And we have 6 very different people from very different backgrounds, and we are going to discuss a topic. And the topic is dating in 2018. So we have 2 married couples, and they'll give their spin and perspective on what they're seeing as far as their friends and family and relationships. And then we have a single person such as myself, and we'll give our spin on what we're seeing here dating in 2018. So you guys stay tuned and just watch and give us your feedback as well on what you think about dating in 2018.
My name is Donna Parks. I'm a cosmetologist. I also sell Indian hair. I'm an avid traveler, and I'm single.
My name is Charlotte Suber, and I'm a stay-at-home wife, and I'm married to this guy right here.
My name is Larry Suber. I'm a businessman, entrepreneur. I'm an author. I'm also a pastor, and I'm happily married, going on 14 years.
No, that's right. Well, as you guys know, I'm Chermean Taylor Smith, and I am an author, and I'm the sensuous author as well as the sensuous cook, and I am recently separated, so.
Well, I'm Sean Q, co-host of Couch Talk Podcast. I'm also a photographer and a videographer. I'm married to this lovely lady beside me right here.
I'm Shaquinta Griffin. I am accounts payable. I have my own business, Melanin Locks. I do sister locks and traditional locks. Loving husband.
My name is Jamar Schuler, Chef Jamar. I have 3 children, and I am married.
Right. So we are going to start talking about this topic, and I actually want to start with the married folk. I want to start with you guys first because you are there. So I want to see what kind of advice and what things you can offer and just things that you're seeing with some of your friends and family as far as like dating in 2018. Like some of the bad, some of the good, and just give us your spin and perspective on what you're seeing. So we'll start with the Subers. Larry, we know Larry loves to give us his perspective, so let's start with Larry.
Okay, well, from what I've seen, just earlier today, spoke with a young lady, and she's single. And she's been with this guy for 15 years. Mm-hmm. And she called me for advice because they're actually just like roommates. They sleep in separate rooms. He works like 12, 14 hours a day. She works, and she's ready to make a move, but she's looking for love, and she wants to be in a relationship, a committed relationship. But he's not ready to commit. So as I was telling her, how long do you got to see these red flags? How long do you got to find condoms in his wallet, which she found last night, and he couldn't give her an answer? So a lot of times what I've seen with dating in 2018 is that dating is dating across the board. It just depends on who you are, where you come from, what was poured into you, what you've seen, and what you're looking for out of a relationship.
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't matter if you're 20, if you're 30, if you're 40, if you're 50. The year that we dating in is still the same. You still got to court. Mm-hmm. You still got to cater to a woman and learn that woman and learn what she wants, what her needs are, and vice versa. Because in so many times, you get in relationships as to where somebody will say, hey, I like you. I like you too. And they say, well, let's do it. And there's no basis or foundation there. Right. And then that's when all the hell breaks loose. Mm-hmm. And now you need counseling. You want counseling as to whereas before, if I'd have done this right, and just not went by how she looks or looking at her hips or she looking at, I got a nice car, I got a BMW. He got a diamond watch, girl. There's more to it than just the outside facade of what people are looking for. And because he got nice hair and he got all his teeth, he can be a tragedy going somewhere to happen and vice versa. So everybody got to do their math. You got to put your part in, but you also got to see, what is she bringing to the table? What is he bringing to the table? What is his beliefs? Does he want kids? So this thing can go on and on.
Okay, so we got Mr. Suber, and we'll come back to Charlotte Suber. We're going to go with you, the woman of the next married couple. So give us your spin on what you're saying.
I have friends my age. I'll be 30 in January, but we have high standards, but you don't hold the men to it. We expect so much, we want so much, but we don't give the same for some of the ladies around my age. Right. But then when they get a man, he starts, but he doesn't finish it.
No consistency.
But I feel like it's the woman's fault as well, because if you don't hold him to a standard, he's not going to uphold one.
Absolutely.
So I feel like, the women around our age, we have to put our foot down in a sense and be honest, because a lot of us enter relationships and this is fun, but this is not what I want.
Right. I find that a lot of us are settling. Like, and a lot of people, to me, it seems, and I'm a victim. Like, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that settled for a long time. And you have to find and remember who you are and your worth and not lose yourself in the relationship. And we tend to do that. We lose ourselves and we change and adapt to the other person's behaviors instead of remaining who you are. So the red flags now for me, if you come in the door with a red flag that I've seen before, it's over. I'm done. Like, no more dates. We're good. Because I have to pay attention to red flags because they're telling you who they are. Like, you just got to pay attention. You cannot change somebody. That's who they are. You have to accept them and appreciate them for who they are. But you also have to remember what you're looking for. So we are going to go back. After this, we'll go to the singles. But Charlotte, you can give us yours.
I want to piggyback off of what she was saying. A lot of times, you'll see the red flags, and what we'll do as women, we'll say, well, okay, that wasn't really anything. I'm just going to give him another chance. I'm going to see if he's going to change to do things the way I like to be, things to be done. And it doesn't work that way. You have to pay attention, like you were saying. And when you see the red flags, you have to just, you just got to move on because he's not going to change who he is.
Yeah, and I don't think it's fair to try to get a person to change. Like a lot of men approach me now and they're like, oh, I do this or I smoke weed or I do. That's not for me. But I'm not judging you. But I'm not trying to change you. So don't say you'll change that for me because you'll end up like one guy, for instance, he wants children. I'm good on kids. Like, I don't want any more children, So he's like, oh, well, I'm good with not having kids. No. You'll never take that away from yourself and then I'm to blame later and you regret that you made that decision and now you can't go back and change that. So you'll always be resentful to me because you wanted children and I have children. So there's things like that. You have to let a person be who they are. You have to let them have what they're looking for in life and not change and take that away. Okay, so Mr. Married Man, go ahead and give us yours.
My take on dating in 2018 is the issue is people are taking 1960 values and trying to apply them to 2018 dating. And so much has changed with the dating scene. The mad black woman is a stereotype all our sisters get. She's the mad black woman. And men have understood it and they looked at that like, oh my God, my girl saying he fussing at me. A lot of times it's to make us a better man, but sometimes it's still aggravating, like very, very aggravating if y'all just fuss at us and try to make us, I guess, be better in y'all eyes. In 1960, that was acceptable because we had like 4 or 5 women in the area that we could possibly go talk to. In 2018, with this phone in my hand, I have thousands of women where I really don't have to listen to you nagging me all day because I can just go on my phone, type. Media, I got 6 different women I'm talking to right now that's not getting on my nerves. So I understand what y'all saying about understanding your worth and knowing your value, but at the same time, you have to understand that men, we already had short attention spans as it is. It's 20 times shorter now in 2018 because we don't have to listen anymore.
Yeah, and what I found too with men and women, we have got to understand as women, men don't think like we do. We are so sensitive. They are not emotional creatures like we are. The smallest thing that we thought would bother them doesn't. It's us. Like, so I've had to learn to like harden my shell a little bit because they don't care. Like once you, they're done with that. Like, but we sitting here walking around, we still mad. I ain't talking to you tonight. They don't. They forgot about what's wrong. What happened?
Exactly.
They're over it. So like, I just had to learn that. And we also have to learn to date our men. Like, we expect and want to be treated like a queen. We want to do so much, and we want you taking us out. We want you to spoil us. But women forget to spoil their man. I spoil my man. Like I value spoiling it because it just makes me feel good about what I'm doing. I love to see my man happy, and I gave him or showed him something he's never seen. Like, a lot of women aren't doing that. A lot of women don't know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to clean. You don't have to take care of your kids.
Should never end.
It should always date your spouse or your mate. Like, it keeps the spice. It keeps everything interesting. So I feel like there is a role for a woman for me. Like, I'm the woman that makes my man's plate. Some women don't do that. They feel like, what? That's just me. I'm a country girl. I've seen that. That's what, a lot of people say they cook because they went to culinary school and things like that. I cook because I'm from the country. That's what I've seen. Soul. I'm from Memphis. Country. We make our men plate. We cook. And that's what I love to do. It's not because some people are like, oh, I hate to cook. I love to cook. It makes me feel good. I'm cooking for my soul. I had a stressful day at work. Cooking is my release. So that's what, as a woman, I feel like that's what I do. And I show him I appreciate him by making sure I cook him a warm meal. He ain't going to McDonald's. And I'm making his plate and it's ready. I'm going to fix his plate. Not an issue for me. So
I don't have a dating life. No, seriously, I am single.
Mm-hmm.
However, the problem that I've run into with dating is that a lot of people aren't available, either emotionally available or they may already be dealing with one or two other people.
Mm-hmm.
So it then becomes somewhat of like a competition. Like, I'm gonna still date who I'm dating here. But I'm interested in talking to you, so if you're better, maybe, but to me, I don't think that I'm not with that, but you run into that probably 90% of the time. It's very hard when you're single to find someone else who is completely single.
Right.
And can focus and dedicate that time to getting to know you, courting you, and dating you.
Okay.
So when, can I ask a question? When is the point where you do have to cut off everybody else in the courting stage? Like, if I meet you and I'm already talking to somebody, like, is it a certain point in time where, hey, like, I understand you were talking to somebody, but now you have to cut everybody else off?
I wouldn't say there's a certain amount of time. However, I feel like it should come to a point where you want to be exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
I've always heard that a man knows when he's met a woman if he wants to be with that woman and if he wants to pursue something more with her.
Absolutely.
So I feel like with that being said, the man will know, and if he's not playing games, he'll make that decision before you have to tell him to.
Okay. So we are going to speak to Chef Jamar now, and he's going to give us his spin on what he thinks.
My spin on it is a little bit on his side of it. Like I said, I got 3 children, and I've been with my girl for like 8-9 years. So like I said, I'm married in my eyes. But at the end of the day, it's like, for me, it's like, it's not how it was in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So far as the dating and emotionally and the attention and all that. So for me, it's like I'm kind of in the battle of trying to get her to be how she was in the beginning.
Okay, my question to you, Jamar, is, so you said she's kind of changed. Mm-hmm. So I feel like a lot of times we hear that from the men that we've changed. Are you still doing the same things that you did to get her? Are you still dating her? Are you still treating her like the woman that you did? Are you still giving her nice little just because things? Like, nothing spectacular, but just because.
Of course, I'm going to say I feel like...
No, are you?
Yes.
So you do that?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not really like the romantic type, or I've never really been that type anyway. So like, I don't feel like I've changed.
Gotcha.
And, you know what I mean? I probably could do some things better, and
right.
And that's crazy too, because that conversation comes up with a woman, and it's like, well, what are you doing your part? And then of course I try to change little things, but does it go noticed, or
well, let me tell you, I used to be that same way where you want to say, oh, he did this, he did that. But what somebody taught me that was very wise to me was stop praying for him or her to change and pray about yourself. Because when you see the change in you, you kind of come off and your energy is going to give them that same energy and they'll change within. So it's not something that you need, because I can't pray about what it means to be a man or a husband. And we're quick as women to say, well, as my husband or as my wife, you should be, but you can't tell me what it is to be a wife or a husband. How do you know? You can't be a wife. You can't tell me what I feel, the emotions that I deal with. You can't tell this man how he's dealing with being in society and being scared that he gonna get pulled over and get shot and have to come home and listen to your nonsense. So we have to understand, everybody has their own struggles, and we have to learn to just work on ourselves, and then that makes your relationship, to me. And we're going to talk a little bit about effective communication too, because we think we communicate. Like, you're not communicating, you're talking at me. You're not listening to me. You're talking just to hear yourself talk, and then you're not listening to me to be heard. You're listening to me to defend yourself. So I need you to hear me effectively, hear what I'm saying and what I'm asking for. Then you'll understand how to treat me as a woman. Because I'm telling you, you're not guessing. And a lot of men say, oh, I have to guess. She walks around. I don't know what's wrong with her. If you have effective communication, you're hearing me say, hey, babe, I didn't like how you said or did that the other day. It just really bothered me. Can you not do that? So it's just being effective in the relationship. To me, it's you're doing things on purpose.
Okay, on the effective communication, what most people don't get is, just like you said, a lot of times we talk at each other. We're not listening to each other, but effective communication is when I talk to my wife and she understood where I was coming from, and the response that she gave me, we both came to a common ground or understanding. Now also, something else you brought up, a lot of times with men, and I'm pretty sure the men will raise their hand, is that if we weren't taught how to listen to a woman, just like the old transistor radios, I always use this example. The old transistor radio, and when you hit that station, you say, oh, there it is. We got to learn how to be in tune with our woman, not all women, but with our woman, because like Chermean said, a woman will tell you everything she wants, needs, and desires, but we've never been trained to listen on that frequency. So once I trained myself to listen, prime example, I used to come home, we got a hamper in our closet, in a walk-in closet, and I would take my clothes off in front of the hamper and throw them on the floor. And she would say, oh my God, I'm so tired of picking up your... And for me, I'm like, what? It didn't click.
Right.
One day I go in there and I heard her. And I stopped and I took my clothes off and I'm getting ready to drop them on the floor. And I stood and I said, boy, this is retarded. Why am I throwing them on the floor? So at that point, I began to listen to what she was saying. Baby, I don't like how you said this. I don't like... And then here's what we do with effective communication. From time to time, I ask my wife, I say, babe, is anything I need to straighten up on, change? She said, no, you good. She said, what about me? No. I even do that with sex.
Right.
Is there anything I need to be doing I shouldn't be? If I'm rubbing her ear and it's driving her crazy, but I'm thinking, I got her. But she's saying, oh my God, this joke killing my ear hot. Won't you stop?
Right.
But I keep doing it. I took out the moment and I killed him. That's communication also.
Right.
And vice versa. If she rubbing my neck and getting real strong with it, but I'm trying to be in the mood and she hurting me, you took me. So when we effectively, here's what I asked her. Is anything I'm doing sexually? She said, you be rubbing me right here. You be real rough. I said, for real? I said, well, show me how. She said, like this. I said, what? Okay, just like that. I said, okay. So we learn from each other, because once you have that effective communication in your relationship, it clicks like clockwork. That goes along with money, with our finances, how we raise the kids, how we discipline the kids, so on and so forth. Because where she's weak, I'm strong. Mm-hmm. Where she's strong, I'm weak, but we complement each other. But if we never have effective communication, where we put this thing on the table at a common ground, where we talk peaceably, not when I just got off work, got out the truck, and I done had to deal with all these retards out here, and now I come in, and just like he said, because I talked about this earlier, it's like nagging. As soon as I hit the door, you tell me what I didn't do, what I blah. That's not communication, because now I went in the cave. I shut down on you. I ain't heard nothing you said. So once women learn how we think, just like you said, men don't think the same way as women do. Once you learn this, and I learn what it takes for you also, and I go upstairs, you got me some bath water in. You might not want to do it, but now you setting the stage as to where now I can put my guard down, and I put my rocks down, because we two imperfect beings coming together as one. She ain't perfect, and guess what, y'all? I ain't neither.
Right.
So once I see that, and I accept her for who she is, like Chermean said, not trying to change her and make her who I want her to be, because everybody on this panel has expectations.
Absolutely.
My expectations don't make my wife who I need her to be, and vice versa. So we got to come together and learn these tools and work together, because when we work the principles work.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Okay, so we are going to wrap up this. We're going to wrap it up. And what I want to do is I just want the married couples to just give us the married couples and married man to give us just their advice on what they think can help us as far as the singles, was recently separated and single, to have, I guess, relationships like the Subers. Relationships like you guys. So you can give us your advice. So we're going to end it with you guys giving us that. And we'll start with you guys.
Well, I would say we started out real rocky because we weren't effectively communicating. Regardless if it was good or bad, I know I had some things that I wanted that she didn't totally agree with, that we had to come on common ground with. When you marry the person. You marry an entire person. You don't marry a half a person. You're not bringing 50-50 to the relationship. You're bringing the whole person in. So I understand that there's a lot of different dynamics and everything that comes with that person. You're not going to like everything.
Absolutely.
What you don't like, you got to put it on the scale and see if it can weigh up.
Oh, no, that's right.
If it's worth going through or not.
Okay, wife, what is yours?
Communication. Communication is key. If you can effectively communicate, a lot of things can be solved. And more so, evolving. Change.
Absolutely.
He hated that word. Because I'm me, why do I have to change? But if you don't change... But when I say change, I don't mean change the core of the person.
Yes.
When you're two people coming into one, you're evolving.
Absolutely.
So maybe we should stop saying, oh, you need to change and we need to evolve with each other.
Yes.
Your core parts never change, but you evolve with each other and you grow. And every day should be new, because if it's not, you're living in the past.
I know that. Okay.
Be open-minded and love.
Love, live, laugh.
Openly, just love. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Sometimes change is good, evolving is good, and don't be closed-minded.
All right. Okay, Chef Jamar.
For me, like you said too, just communication and just making sure it stays fun.
Okay.
That's my main.
That's important. Okay, and we will end it with you guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up with Charlotte giving us yours.
My thing is, we all have things that we need to work on. Nobody's perfect, but you have to be willing to do a little change within yourself. Coming together as one, it does take change. You have to change a lot of things that you may have used to do before because you were single.
Right.
You have to, certain things you have to do as a wife, certain things you have to do as a husband to make the relationship work.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Conversation, Cocktails, and Cuisine with Chermean. Check us out for the next topic and the next, I guess, destination. We won't be necessarily in the kitchen. Just wherever Chermean feels we want to be, we will be. Thank you.